is here! The champ 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 is here!
if you're like me, you've got plenty of time on your hands during this coronavirus quarantine time. Things are going to get better. It's just a matter of time. But until they do, you should do what I do and watch Josh Talks on YouTube. This guy's interviewing skills, man, I've seen a lot of them, but Josh is the most recent. So watch Josh Talks right there on your YouTube. Stay safe and have a nice day.
There I am. Hey, what's up, everybody? Got a little antsy. They won't wait till 4. Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you guys for waiting for the. I'm playing over audio. I don't want to. I don't need to hear myself twice. Once on myself is enough. Thank you guys for watching today. It's been a fun week, and I really enjoyed my time on the No DQ review with Virtue and everybody. Yes, that was the Brawl for All Music Smith Grove. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that very, very much. Let me just throw that up there for you. Hello, Smith Grove. Thank you. Yes, we had a very spirited conversation about the Brawl for All, didn't we? Yes, we certainly did. Let me get everybody's people that were commenting in the 3:30 hour, 6:30. Thank you guys for coming in early. I appreciate that. Watcher, we'll get to that momentarily. It is a good question. I am not an MMA fan per se. I do enjoy watching certain fighters. Depends on the situation. I showed this earlier, but hello, Stat Boy. Welcome to the chat. Yes, I know. Let's go. I'm impatient. And yes, everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting for me. Whoop-de-doo. There we go. Let's see here. Sometimes that's me. The Revival are not overrated. I am not going to spend my entire time changing your mind. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. That's why we do the things we do, sir. So there you go. Brandon, now. We're live now. Central. Let's see. What's CJ had to say here? I don't remember. Oh, you know what? That may have been during the time you were with Bruce. I was not privy to that part of the conversation. So forgive me for not being knowledgeable of that information, CJ. But if you said it, then you said it, and I don't hold it against you. So whatever. There you go. I don't know why this is not loading in the group chat. So if you're trying to watch on the Face group chat, I apologize, but it's not happening. So we're going to close all that, and we're just going to move that right along. So. Hello, everybody. UFC 249 down. I don't know what it means. If it's not happening, it doesn't surprise me. Where does WWE go from here? They're going to keep filming. As long as I know, they're going to keep doing the things they do, and that means no empty arenas and limited staff on hand. So we shall see. It was nice to be back in ODQ review. As far as I know, I'm going to be on full time every Thursday, unless my schedule does not permit me to be in front of this camera or in front of my phone at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That is the plan now, is to be in front of that camera each and every Thursday. The Revival is the best tag team in WWE right now. They just don't get a chance to show it on TV because they're a bunch of asshats there writing those television shows. So there's that. Rapid fire. Well, would there be an AEW? Yes, they will. I believe they will. And we're seeing that as we go along here. So, now that I got caught up on all of that, thank you guys so much for Sunday and Monday. It was a tremendous pleasure, a lot of fun doing the shows. WrestleMania was chaotic. It was crazy. It was exhausting. I'm still a little scratchy in the throat here. I have a cough drop. I had a cough drop just before I went on the. That's why I was letting that half-hour countdown happen, because I wanted to give myself an opportunity to warm up my vocals, if you will. So forgive me for the half-hour countdown. I wanted to get people in the chat room. I wanted to get people in. No, I will never answer your question. Never, ever, ever. Where is it? Why didn't it pop up? It won't show up. I want to. There it goes. Come on. There it goes. Yes, Aaron, I'll answer your question a million times, because you are the boss. You're the man. You're the reason I sit here. Not this particular show, but the reason I sit here with a career, if you will, doing this. So, Aaron, you are the man. NoDQ.com. for all your news and information regarding wrestling. I don't think they want to highlight the C word, Mikey. I think they want to avoid overstating the obvious, and they want to avoid making it prolific as far as being out there in the world. So there's that. So yeah, maybe that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. What we got here? I didn't know they had been released. That is news to me. Aaron, if you're watching out there, I know you are because you just left a comment on YouTube. Confirmed revival release. Let me know in the chat room, and I will talk about it if it's true. Am I ready for another boring SmackDown? I will watch at 5 if I'm off here. I probably won't be because I talk a lot. So we'll see. So now that the next releases. Ooh. What do you know that I don't, sir? What do you know that I don't? The information I don't know, my friend. Anyway, hello in Saudi Arabia. Thank you for watching. Is it a Kobe Bryant? No, it's not Kobe Bryant. It's number 10. So it can't be Kobe Bryant. All right, let me get to a few questions I had that were on Twitter prior to me. I need to make that go away. So I will do that. There we go. All right, the first question that I had from Twitter prior to me doing this live format and getting involved was from Mr. Yuck or Mr. UKK, or I forget how you say his name, but he says, remember the Heenan family, the Dungeon of Doom, and other stables led by a single manager? Are such factions missing in the current pro wrestling era? If you could lead a posse of heels or faces, who would you pick and why? Oh, I love this question oh so much. And I'll tell you why, because I am a huge fan of the stable of wrestling, the stables, the factions, the groups, the gangs, whatever you want to call them. I'm a huge fan, have been my entire fandom, have been my career as well. I've very much been into managing teams, managing groups, managing factions. Matter of fact, when I worked for Gary back in 2007 to 2009, I had a group, a gang that I managed called High Society, anchored by the original legacy, Rick Ellis, Steven Sparks, and Jameson Stafford. I would love to manage those guys again if I could. As far as current people in current WWE, Vince is not big on factions. He never really has been. Yes, Evolution was what it was, and it was amazing. Evolution was one of the best things, if not the best thing, about the Ruthless Aggression era between 02 and 05, 06, whatever the case may be. They were an amazing group. I don't see Vince wanting to go with that full time in the future, only because it's not Vince's thing. So I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. So the next question was from the anime fans. I forget how you say his name. I can't see it with the thing here. Something Ninja. Sorry about that. The something Ninja. Anime Ninja. I apologize. I can't see your screen cap name. I apologize. When the year is over, if they can, do you see companies like WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact, etc., doing a documentary on this year and how it affected them? I would be very surprised if they didn't. I'd be very surprised if they didn't have some sort of network special on this, on WWE or on Impact Plus or the Honor Club or New Japan World, because this is really affecting everybody. It's affecting all of us. It's not just the fans that are getting affected. It's everybody that has watched wrestling, is involved in wrestling, that runs wrestling, that promotes wrestling. It's affecting each of our lives. It's completely cuckoo right now, the way things are going. I can't emphasize enough how crazy it is to be involved in sports entertainment, professional wrestling right now. It's just sheer madness. So I can't imagine them not going forward with that if they have the opportunity to do so before the year's out, or whenever this shit lifts. So Kobe has 2 questions, and I'm going to get to them one at a time. Actually, he has 3, but I'll get to the first part here. About Kobe, I was watching your new Wrestling Rewind with the Macho Man vs. Ultimate Warrior match. Thank you very much for watching, Kobe. I appreciate you watching. I thought to myself, these 2 are massive characters. Who on the current Raw, SmackDown, AEW, NXT rosters could become the next larger-than-life characters? Oh, my goodness. It's... See, I think we moved away from that presentation a long time ago. as far as the over-the-top characters, the larger-than-life personas, the Hulk Hogans, the Warriors, the Macho Mans, the Andre the Giants, those type of things. We are very much in the reality era. Virtue is very fond of pointing this out to us on the No DQ review. We are in the reality era, and I don't know if there would be thought of as a backtracking or a step backwards if we went back into larger than life 80s style personas. I liked them as a fan at 7 and 8 years old. As a 37-year-old, I prefer the good mix. Now, we went back and forth about this yesterday on the review about the Brawl for All and the reality of it, and what is the idea, was it not? And we got into a pissing contest, quite frankly, with Aaron about it. But check that out on the NoDQ.com channel for more. That was some good shit. But I like the little things, and you bring this up, Wrestling Fan 88, and I appreciate that. I'm a 90, excuse me. I like the evil, heartless Randy Orton more than the Viper. Yes, I like this cold, sinister, fully developed, deep, dark Randy Orton. That is, we've all been taught getting into the business, and we've all been taught by our elders, if you will, our predecessors, that a heel has to believe that what he is doing is right, even if it's 100% wrong and evil, no matter the cost. You gotta remember, in the Harry Potter books, Voldemort doesn't think he's being evil. Voldemort thinks he's doing right by him because he feels that he should rule the world. He feels that he should rule over all of mankind and animal kind. That's what he should do. So, doubtful, but we'll see. Anyway, but I like the Orton character tweaked the way it is. I like Edge tweaked the way he is. As far as it's very much more so Adam Copeland that we're seeing with the Edge name than we are seeing Edge, the mysterious, drifter in 1998 who was roaming the streets and screaming his head off. I like the subtleties of sports entertainment compared to the overt, over-the-top characters. So I don't see a return to the full-blown, over-the-top characters going forward. I am not touching that comment. The last one from ZOMG Ruler. I'm not even, you guys can have that all you want, because I know that's going to cause a shitstorm. However, Kobe has a couple questions, and I will get to them right now. He wants to know, how did I start as an internet wrestling personality, if that's the terminology, and how did I build an audience? And he brought up that he and I were talking in chat about where did that go? There it is. Thank you. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to block that. How I got into this, and I will give complete blame to Aaron. It's all his fault. So if you don't like the fact that I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday on his channel, you can blame Aaron. He and his associate at the time reached out to me in the early summer of 2002 after I had done some live event reports as far as writing down results or whatever. Even back then, we were still typing, folks. I'm not that damn old where I was still writing on pen and paper in 2001 on internet. I was actually typing on my computer. It was an actual computer, a big desktop, freaking big display thing. It was ridiculously inexpensive, but it was a piece of crap. It was what it was. And I had been sending because I've been to shows at the Arrowhead Pond, and I've been to shows at the Forum and at Staples Center and things like that. And I been talking to Aaron because I had followed what was then www.wcw.com, of course, became the mayhem.com, and now DQ. And in the summer of 2002, he and my soon-to-be co-host reached out and said, hey, we're looking to do what we now call them podcasts, but it was an audio show back then. We didn't use the word podcast. And we're looking for a co-host. Are you interested? And here I sit 17 and a half years later, or almost 18 years later. So how I built an audience, again, I have to completely blame Aaron for all of that. As much as my personality is outgoing, and as much as I, tend to blabber on and on a lot, and I do have a good projecting voice, and I do have a good on-screen presence, it was Aaron framing the shots and using different angles and using different environments for me to shoot in that gave me and gave Talk Wrestling, this show, the audience that it needed. So I greatly appreciate Aaron for that, and forever be in his debt for that. And I will never, I will do my best to not wander again, because I let myself have a falling out with him about 9 years ago, and it was a huge mistake. So there you go. Hope that's your question, Kobe. And if it didn't, well, if you didn't come late, try again next week, as you said, Rocky. If you didn't come tonight, then try again next week. So let's get into the chat room. Let's get into what you guys are asking me today, because there's a lot of questions, and let's see where I was before I fell off the radar here. It's very weird to see Aaron in the chat not running the show, isn't it? Isn't it bizarre? It's good, right? I think he's still a moderator in the actual YouTube chat room, but I'm over here in central control. So, by the way, let me throw it up there now. If you have any questions about media, live streaming, or talk shows, email our buddy Bruce at bcraft@beckcomputers.com. He is the reason you see stuff like, I want that up, and I want that up. There we go. That's why you see the things you see right there, because of Bruce. So thank you, Bruce. If you're watching, I think I saw you watching on Facebook. So thank you for coming along for the ride today. Anyway, so let's see. Does Randy Orton deserve another world title run? I don't see why not. I think Randy's still a young enough man where he could be a serious, legitimate WWE or Universal Champion. He had a great match with Edge on Sunday. Was long. I will definitely 100% concede that, but it still came off very, very well. It was a great match, and I think he definitely showed that he can. He earned his chops. Now, on the other side, CJ wants to know if Edge. I don't know if he should be given another one. Does he deserve it? I think that he was allowed to retire as world champion and went out on top. So it's not about the championship for him. It's about him retiring, period, on his own terms, about doing his own thing and being on his own, going out his own way, the way he wants to go, not the way that the doctors say, hey, you can't wrestle anymore. So I think that's what this run for Edge is about. So thank you, CJ. I appreciate the question. We are going to take a brief time out right now here on the Jeff Meacham Network. We'll be right back after this brief commercial break for the champ.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
There you go. By the way, we filmed Trivia Challenge today. Stay tuned for that. Next week, we will be on. Finally, Trivia Challenge is back, folks. That's it. So let's see. What did I think of Jesse the Body Ventura? I honestly came along in my fandom. When I first came into being a fan after Jesse had already left the WWF in 1990 and before he went to WCW. So didn't get to see a whole lot of Jesse, because by the time I went to WCW's watching WCW, he was on his way out, thanks to whoever you want to ask, Bischoff, Hogan, whatever the case may be. So didn't get to see a whole lot of Jesse's work. Looking back now on the network and on videotape and whatever, probably the second greatest heel color commentator behind Bobby that there ever was. No question about that. I like this Smith's Girl, but heel Team Canada for years. But like you said, it is easy heat. But as I said, this is like factions, so that would be really, really cool. I just don't. I don't think it'll happen. I have not seen these comments, Michael Gonzalez, from Ronda Rousey about wrestling fans. So it surprised me that she would talk shit, because that's what she does. But again, it doesn't surprise me. So let's see what we got here. New comments. I think I missed that the first time, so sorry. I'll get to it now. What do you think? Where do you rank the Shield among the best factions of all time? I think the Shield, had they Yeah, no, they're one of the top 5 WWE wise. They kicked serious ass when they were around. So it was amazing. They ruled the roost, and they proved that the NXT system works. All 3 of those guys went through Tampa, FCW, went through NXT. Rollins was the champion, of course, but let's not forget that. And all 3 of those guys have gone to tremendous success. Of course, John's now in AEW. Roman's on his hiatus because of the COVID thing and wants to avoid the germs. Don't blame him for a moment. And Seth Rollins had an amazing match on Saturday at WrestleMania. So they're both, all 3 of them are great, and they're great as a tag team at a faction. Who will challenge Braun Strowman for the championship now? How about Big E heel turn on New Day? I would like that, but I think they're going to wait until Woods comes back and then do a heel turn from one of them. And if it's going to be him, it has to be E. He's the guy. He's the guy. Let's see. So apparently, it's going all through the chat room. So apparently, it did happen. So, I hope that they show up in AEW sooner rather than later. I would love to see the revival on AEW Dynamite or AEW Dark or hell, NWA Power when that comes back. They are a tremendous, it's a big word for me, it's tremendous. I love their old school feel. I love that tag team to pieces. I pray that they will be allowed to be showcased more often in AEW, NWA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, wherever the case may be. I would, they have a place. They have a place in wrestling, and they're too good to not be on some sort of programming. So yeah, exactly. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get some. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Let me just do this. I am letting one of my people know that I'm doing something right now, so I need to be left alone. Persistent follower, shall we say. So bear with me. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's see. What do we got here? What we got? What do you say? What do you say? Say yeah, says they said with Colin. What's up, brother? You guys are coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. Don't forget. Everybody's going, what are you talking about? You'll see. Matter of fact, I'm going to run it now. I'm going to run it right now. We're going to take another break because I can. It's my show. Do what I want. We'll be back after this message from Aftermatch Wrestling. There you go. Yes, he should stay heel until he retires. I didn't mean to click that when I clicked it, so I'll answer it. What the hell? There we go. Greg Cherry, greetings, sir. I made the announcement that we did, in fact, get one in the can today. So, everybody stay tuned. It'll be up probably next Friday. We'll see how things play out. But, yeah, Wrestling Trivia Challenge is back, folks. The No DQ Wrestling Trivia Challenge is back. Stay tuned for that. We'll be plugging that in the days to come and over the course of the next week. So stay tuned for that. CJ loved this question. And Greg, if you want to answer, by all means, please do, because I know you're a big belt person like I am. The Winged Eagle from the 80s and 90s. The Big Gold Belt from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. 2010s. The Dome Globe, the 10 pounds of gold. Fourth belt. I'm gonna go with the undisputed eagle. No, attitude eagle. Attitude eagle. Attitude eagle, winged eagle, big gold, 10 pounds of gold. Thanks, DJ, for the question. I appreciate that. I'm having questions all over the place. Nothing right here. Let me just get into the chat here and let's see what's doing. Because I got questions coming in. Cannon to the left of them, cannon to the right of them, Bally and Thunder, as they say in World War II, World War One. I don't know. I used to be a history major back in the day. I should know that stuff, but I don't. Because I don't pay attention anymore. Because I'm out of school. I don't have to worry about school anymore. Yeah. Let's see. I like this. Here we go. Well, where'd it go? Greg Cherry is pretty much in agreement with me. I was on the fence between Undisputed Eagle and Attitude Eagle. He went Undisputed, I went Attitudes. There you go. Let's see what we got here. I saw another one here with the belts. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, from Shane, Hazard F5. Big go, win, eagle, don't go. IWGP is a really pretty belt. I didn't think about that, but it's a really nice belt. I happen to enjoy that belt myself. Here we go. This will be good. I have not talked about it yet, but I will. I will address it, unfortunately. And, it's funny. People are surprised that I feel bad for Vince, but I really do. I feel terrible for Vince McMahon that the XFL has once again failed. It's such a bummer that, we don't have alternative football after the Super Bowl because granted, the COVID thing really hit the WWE, or what do they call it? And what the hell is the name of their company? Something Entertainment, whatever it was, Alpha Entertainment. Yeah, it really hit them bad because they were on this season to really make a go of it. So I hate it. It sucks, but I'm not terribly surprised either. Hey, Jeff, I watched WrestleMania 17 before WrestleMania 36. What does everybody need to do to make matches, characters, and storylines important again? Oh, that is the $1 million question, is it not? Just crazy. Colin, of course. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I love that you give the NXT fans and the UK fans an alternative to watch other than other stuff. So I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. As far as riding the ship with making it compelling again, I don't know. And I only say that because we've been sitting here for, it feels like 10 years saying, do this, do that, do this, do that. And then they do certain things and it doesn't work. And they do other things that we don't say and it does work. So are we even so expert driven that we don't realize that we're also wrong? It's very, very complicated. It's very, very, it is by and large the most complicated business in the history of entertainment and sport, period. It is so difficult to be a wrestling promoter, be a wrestling booker, be a wrestler, be a wrestling announcer. It is complicated as a mother effer. And if you get into it with any expectations other than you're going to struggle and struggle and struggle and then maybe make it big, if you're microscopically lucky, then you're in the wrong damn business, period. The XFL, again, I think on some level Vince knows that he is a wrestling person first and foremost, and I think he's always wanted to be the guy to try. I will never discredit Vince McMahon for not trying, because the man certainly tries his ass off every single time. He always tries. He always seeks out new yeah, it's for revenue, and I understand that it's revenue streams. It's about that bottom line, which isn't everything in this world about the bottom line. Am I right? So I mean, even if we're even if we're working this crappy ass job in the way to support our families, or whatever, isn't that job all about that bottom line, the money, in order to support the families? So that's just the way things work out. Um, it's a shame, and I like this question by Dustin Grimes, and I think Virtue, if he's here somewhere in the chat areas of the Jeff Beacham Network, are we entering a full on new cinematic era in WWE? Oh, I don't think that's necessarily the best option. I think um, an occasional presentation like AJ and Undertaker, like John and Bray, is the way to go. Full on cinematic. No, I disagree with that heartily. I'd like to see spread out, spread thin over the course of not everything, not every single match, every single show. Just here and there. As a matter of fact, Kobe, since we did the Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12, Greg and I are looking to do the Montreal Screwjob match in November, right around the anniversary. It won't be on. I don't think November 9th is a Wednesday, but it'll be close. We are planning to do it, so stay tuned for that on this channel, on YouTube, and on the Jeff Beacham Network on the podcast. So there you go. There's that. By the way, I realized as I said this, I did not freaking record the podcast on Anchor, so hopefully I can get the recording out of the studio here. So thank you for that, for reminding me with saying that. So I like Hazard F5's comment here. Always said the Austin heel turn at WrestleMania 17 was never going to work like they wanted, but having him turn it at WrestleMania in his home state, doing it from the beginning, if it happened somewhere else, it would have had a better shot of working. Oh, absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree. Very, very bad idea to have the Austin heel turn in Houston. Very poor planning, and Austin himself has said if he had thought about it, he'd have called an audible and dropped Vince on his head, on his chin, and gone forward as Stone Cold the Rebel and continued on as the World Federation champion, but still had that minor tweaking of, I did what I had to do to beat The Rock. Now I'm the champion. Deal with it. We're gonna take another quick break. I know I get so many breaks, but I wanted to get this one in because I promised this one would be at 4:30. So stay tuned. There you go. Patreon.com/Alexander the Red is all I have to say about that, because it is worth the price, folks. Good stuff. Good times. So I like Mike D's question, and I'm going to get to that in a second, Mike. I'm going to answer Colin's question first because it's more topical, shall we say. My favorite match of each night, because I did not address this on the live stream Sunday or on Mitch's Musings on Monday or on the review on Thursday. I did not get to this question myself. And if I did, I don't remember saying it. How about that? My favorite match of night one was definitely the Boneyard match. Great presentation. Amazing work. It was probably the best Undertaker thing I've seen as far as presentation in a match setting or any kind of stipulation setting since Hell in a Cell with Hunter at WrestleMania 28. I'm not exaggerating when I say it feels like that's been the best thing he's done in recent memory. He's that good. He was that good. AJ was that good. It was just an amazing feel. Metallica helped out. The OC helped out. OC Club. Everybody did a great job. The production values were amazing. The production team did a great job. There you go. Better chance for us at least one more match. The Rock, Stone Cold, or CM Punk? The Rock. Steve's made it clear a couple times on the Broken Skull sessions he's done. we have been clamoring for CM Punk for 6 years. We're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. And that's just how I feel. And I'm not upset about that. It doesn't bother me like it used to. It is what it is. So, let's see what we got here. WrestleMania 36, I would rank in the top third, as Greg said the other day on the review. Top third of WrestleMania's all time, so top 12. And that's about all I'm going to give it, to be honest with you. CJ has a good question. Thank you, sir, for this question, CJ. What are my thoughts on when wrestlers and other people in the business make fun of the fans? I have mixed feelings about that, mixed thoughts about that. In the confines of being a heel, being a bad guy, being a staying in character, I don't have a problem with it because that's what I grew up on. And, you didn't go out to the bar afterward, as a kid, not to the bar, but to the restaurant or to the hotel, or whatever, as a kid, and expect Andre the Giant or George Animal Steel to say things to you, or have Jake the Snake Roberts, when he was a bad guy, not want to stick the cobra on you. But on the other side of that, when you're a dick just to be a dick, and you're not doing it in the confines of your character, and you're just being a jerk, or if you're taking your thing to the next level and making fun of special needs or disabilities or whatever the case may be, that I have a severe problem with. And granted, it is happening in today's wrestling industry. I don't like it. I'm not going to pretend to like it. I don't think it's right. Honestly, if you must know, not mean necessarily, but I will say that the people in the NBA are very cocky and very they talk down to the fans a lot. The only fandoms I've never had a problem with ever, as far as the wrestlers treating me or people treating me the way I feel I should be treated, is most wrestlers. There are a couple that I've had problems with in the last, especially the last 18 years, but even still, they still treat me like a dick. And the NASCAR, the guys in racing, I've had one problem with a race car driver my entire time being a race car fan, and that goes back to when I was 3. So there's that. So don't tell Vince. Brandon, you made my day with this. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're following Alexandra the Red. She is a wonderful friend. She's a hell of a cosplayer. She's a hell of a model. She is an amazing person, period. And I can't recommend her enough as a Patreon subscription. She's great. So there you go with that. Let's see who we got here. Who's next? I've heard college athletes are pretty much asshats. So if they are, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So, yeah. There you go. Is Ricochet's career forever buried in WWE? Do you think he can recover? That's a very good question, and I'd like to think he can recover, but based on Vince's history with guys of his size and people like Cedric Alexander, and then Apollo Crews, who's not their size but has their same style of charisma, shall we say, they've all been just butchered to death and buried. It's been terrible. So I don't see him recovering, and I hope I'm very, very wrong. I don't know about next WrestleMania, David, for McIntyre, but definitely, as long as this shit persists, at least till SummerSlam, if not Survivor Series. Because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to be champion long, like a year long, but maybe. Yeah, baseball players are pretty nice. Baseball players are nice. For the most part. I've not met a whole lot of them in my recent years, but when I was younger, I absolutely loved it. Who should be next in the Funhouse? Triple H singing Sting. Right, Nate? Put Sting in there with him, please. I would love to see that. That'd be awesome. That'd be the greatest thing ever. I don't remember what his name was, and Aaron will be able to remember better than I can because he was not there and up in the moment. But I was threatened with bodily harm from a wrestling person as a result of inadvertently calling another worker by their real name, not their gimmick name, at my very first indie show. And I almost got my head taken off and had to convince my driver to not turn around and drive back and go kick that guy's ass. So, yeah, that's the only really scary part. It was bad. Let's see who we got here. Mike D, better in-ring performer out of these four: HBK, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, or Eddie Guerrero. Golly, can I say 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D? No. Out of those four, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels. Here's a good question. I like this one. This is good. Brandon Dvorak, do you think WWE could do a positive LGBT superstar? It seems they are all heels. Mickey James, Goldust, etc. As a bi dude, a positive, non-flamboyant gay superstar would be nice. Well, when they had Rico doing the gimmick, he was a babyface for a while with Jackie, right? He wasn't a heel the entire time. So I don't, it's possible that could work, but they're very scared to try it in 2020. It's not like when Rico was the stylist and then he paired up with Jackie. It's a totally different time. We live in a totally different world now, so I don't know if they could possibly work. Let's see. I like the comments. I'm just going to read it. Hazard F5. I love NWA Power since its debut. I love the dialed back simplicity of it. I feel McAlvis is arguably the best world champion today. What do you think of Nick? I love Nick Aldis. I think he is the real world champion. But let me put a caveat on that. I am blocked on Twitter, and I don't know why. I have not said anything bad about him, to my knowledge, about Mickey, to my knowledge, about the NWA, definitely, the 10 pounds of gold, or Impact that I'm aware of. Now, when he was Impact World Champion and feuding with AJ and signing with Dixie, I may have stepped over a line. If I did, I sincerely apologize. And if I did, please let him know that it was in the confines of the story, and I have nothing but respect and admiration for Nick Aldis and the way he carries the NWA World Championship. And he is the best world champion in the game today, period. What is my dream match? Wow. I like yours, Rollins and Michaels. Mine, honestly, and it's going to sound cliche and silly, and there's two. Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit versus Bryan Danielson. And yeah, I said what I said. On multiple fronts there. Let's see what we got here. Where'd it go? There it is. Jeremy Dorset says, do you see Aleister Black winning the U.S. or IC championships, and is he a future world champion? I mentioned this on the review yesterday. I think so. Definitely see him as a future IC or U.S. champion. Don't see him as a world champion. I just don't see it. Maybe that's me. Yes, please. With Tully and Nate at ringside. Yes, please. I almost said that, but I'd rather see the other two I said. So there you go. I'd rather see Benoit and Danielson, and then Angle and Brett against and then Sting versus Undertaker. That's just how I feel. I think Eddie Guerrero probably would have gone another at least 2 or 3 years had he not passed away. So he probably would have ultimately retired about 2010, inducted 2011, 2012 would have been my thing. His last opponent probably would have been Ray, just to have a poetic ending. That'd have been cool. Let's see. Let's take that off. Oh, it's time for commercial break. It's time for the break. It's time for the break. We'll be right back on Talk Wrestling after this message from WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley.
If you're like me, you've got plenty of time on your hands during this coronavirus quarantine time. Things are going to get better. It's just a matter of time. But until they do, you should do what I do and watch Josh Talks on YouTube. This guy's interviewing skills, man, I've seen a lot of them, but Josh is the most recent. So watch Josh Talks right there on your YouTube. Stay safe and have a nice day.
There you go, Mick Foley, folks. Mick Foley on Talk Wrestling. Who knew? Gotta thank Josh for the video. I saw that video. I went, there's a commercial for Josh right there. If you don't remember Josh Terra from the XMV days, look him up. He's been on AfterBuzz last few years. Great host of the Post SmackDown show. And he has a new show, Josh Talks. He's interviewed so far TJP and Aaron Stevens. So check him out. Amazing stuff. Foley is well, no. He's quick to point out Foley is good. Let's be real. But he's definitely one of the best of all time and certifiable, easily a Hall of Famer for life. There you go, for sure. So here we go. What we got here? I want that. There we go. Hazard at 5. Before Paul Heyman started managing Brock the night after WrestleMania 18, he was booked to manage returning Chris Benoit. That would have been golden material to have Paul Heyman be the mouthpiece for Chris Benoit. I liked the way Chris Benoit came into his own as a character and really developed his knack for mic skills every so often. But again, Brock needed the mouthpiece more than Chris did after the fact, because Brock, even to this day, is not the world's greatest orator, and needs Paul to filter in his shenanigans, shall we say. So let me just clear up my notifications. There's so many of them. I'm getting notifications every which direction. So there you go. Okay, here we go. Here's where the tears start flowing, so I apologize in advance. Do you think the Benoit documentary hurts Vicky and Chavo's relationship with WWE? No. I don't know if they can even do these documentaries without WWE's general okay, and I say that because you see WWE footage spliced throughout the shows. So I don't know how much of a say they have in what goes on. I don't know how much of a say they have in what ultimately said on the shows. Now, I will say, I will give credit to Vice TV and the Dark Side of the Ring producers. I had never actually seen the mass transit video like I did on Wednesday last week. That was some intense shit. I cannot believe the degree that Jack cut that kid. It was, and granted, the kid lied. It was bad. It was bad. And, but it was, I didn't realize how bad it was. It was bad. Very, very, as you hear on the news, very, very bad, but that was really, really scary, for sure. So, I don't know about this Steve Foster thing. Cody claims it's not an overt Vince parody, so I don't know what to believe. But I like Brody Lee as he calls the one. I think they should have kept it like it was when he first debuted, not this Vince McMahon stuff. So time will tell how it develops. I don't like the way it's going right now. Put it that way. Where'd it go? Is that what I wanted? Who do you think Vince McMahon low-key wants competition? AEW just light under. Yes. Vince has said himself that he thrives on competition. That's why he was able to do at WWE what he did, because he thrived in the competition that he was provided. So, I think we all want to see the competition, which is why we're so tuned in on Wednesday nights, because both shows are running, and it's amazing time. Who do I be honest, Jeff? Who do you cry more in for, Ric Flair's retirement speech or Edge's Rick's? Rick's. I was there for Rick's. I was there for his Hall of Fame speech, and I was there for his final match. And I've watched that episode of Raw the night after a few times, that segment a few times, and I can't not cry. It gets to me every damn time. It sucks. I hate that I'm such a crybaby about it, but and it just it gets to me, because it felt real. He talked about when Arn retired that it was a real life. That's what it was. He really felt like he was leaving. He was done, and it gets to me every time. A lot of New Jack chatter in the chat room, and I appreciate you guys comment on New Jack. Again, I've only worked with Jack once. I never actually got to work with him. I worked the same show as him. I was doing commentary for one of our women's matches, and I didn't see him until the last part of the night. He came in for a typical, New Jack Gangsta's Music run-in, and then he was gone. So I never saw him. So I don't know what he's like personally. All I know is hearsay. So I can't, comment on New Jack other than when we worked with him, it seemed to work out. So I don't know what to make of New Jack. He definitely seems a few fries short of a Happy Meal, but that's just how I see it now. Big B, what up? Would I rather have been satisfied if Triple H or Shawn Michaels? No. I didn't want the streak to end at all. I think, other than the way that Roman beat him and he did the big hat off and glove off and jacket down, that would have been a great send off. The way that Brock did it, I thought it gave Brock that I beat the streak credibility, but did it really benefit either of them long term? The answer is no, in my humble opinion. I think Roman being the one to end the streak at the point that it ended with him and Roman would have been huge. Huge. And it wasn't. So there you go. The greatest talker in WWE history, WrestleMania 1998, in WWE history, is The Rock. That's just there's no way around that. Just my thing. Will Brock Lesnar continue to wrestle? Yes. I don't see why not. I don't see why he shouldn't. He'll take them off, lick his wounds, he'll be back. I love the Broken Skull sessions too. I think they're an amazing show. The one with Austin Taker is probably my favorite one, but they've all been really, really good. So thank you, Dustin, for that comment. I don't want to either, CJ, and I was glad I was up in the crow's nest when he was there. I was away from where he was. Way away. Thank you, Sith Grove. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go to break on this question. So here we go. Halloween, the original 1978, is my top favorite of all of them. Halloween 2018 is my number 2. And Halloween 2, 1981. So Halloween 78, Halloween 18, and Halloween 2 of 81. Those are my 3 top favorite Halloween films of the Michael Myers series. And we'll be right back after our last commercial break. There you go. Yes, I agree with you, sir, that the pattern of Lesnar winning the championship and losing it is getting redundant. But you know, you gotta remember when he first became the undisputed champion in 2014. Well, not undisputed. It wasn't called. It was the World Heavyweight Championship back then. When he completely creamed Cena at SummerSlam in front of me and many others, he was dominant. He didn't lose the championship until WrestleMania, so he was a champion almost an entire calendar year at that point, and he's gone on to have year runs since for the most part. Yes, champions lose, champions win. Hogan was champion for 4 years before he lost. Then he was champion for a year. Then he was champion for another year. They're trying, I think, and this is just what I think they're doing, is they're trying to um, uh, get back to a time from the 80s where the champion appeared on special occasions. You had to pay to see the world champion compete. You had to pay to see the champion do his thing in the ring. So it's maybe that's just what I see as it happening going forward. So they're going to have Lesnar come back, be champion for a while again, and then go off. That's going to be how we see. Lesnar's going to be more of a fight camp guy than he will be a wrestling guy. Let me get to that right now. No, I don't have a dislike for Jeff Hardy. I have a profound sadness for Jeff Hardy that he can't seem to keep his shit together, and it sucks. It's a bummer. It really is, because I think Jeff could have been one of the greatest in the modern times, but he just can't seem to keep his head on straight, and it sucks. I would have to say WrestleMania 98 that yes, the reign extension should end without question. I think it's well played out, well played out. So just not good. Jeremy Dorsey, you have a good weekend too, sir. Thank you all. Thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it. I think I mentioned this already. Oh, okay. Oh, you changed the question. Haha. Okay, so heavyweight division, my Mount Rushmore is Winged Eagle. That's my favorite of all time. The secondary, if you will, the mid card championship is probably the white leather Intercontinental Championship belt that is currently being used and held by the Wrestling Series champion Greg Cherry as his championship. The women's championship, my favorite is the 1998 through 2010 WWF WWE Women's Championship, the one that Trish held, the one that Chyna held, the one that Lita and the Attitude Era Women's Championship. That's what I was trying to say. There you go. And cruiserweight, the WCW Cruiserweight Championship is still one of my favorites of all time, by and large. However, honorable mention to the current design of the NWA TV Championship, because that harkens back to the Horsemen and Arn and Barry and Tully and everybody. So mad props to that belt too. Love that belt to pieces. Let's see what we got here. Who's next? All right, last question. No, well, it actually won't be last. Take it back. Do you think Cena will break Flair's record? I certainly hope not. I don't think it should even be touched. And to be fair, if you really want to go by the Jeff Meacham scale, 16 is not the number for Ric Flair. So you're good. Go do your research. He's won more than 16 world championships. Do your research. He's above 16. I don't care what WWE or the WWE stat boys will tell you. I always like that title too. The WWE Championship was a really cool title. It was really, really great. Let's see. Should AEW run a show on Monday nights to head to head with Raw once they've established? Nope. That was the wrong move to do. It wasn't wrong in '95 because it grew an audience. It expanded the audience watching wrestling. It's not going to be the same outcome in 2020. They will have less audience watching the product because people will just be so whatever. I'm over it. I don't want to deal with it. So no, I don't think AEW should run a show Monday nights. They're fine on Wednesday nights. They're consistently beating NXT, except this week. They're consistently kicking their butt. So I don't think it's a concern, and I don't think they should. All right, here we go. Last question. Can you imagine if the streak was still intact and John Cena challenged Undertaker to a streak versus career match? That would have been money. No question about it. That would have been a hell of a money match at WrestleMania or whatever show you want to put it at. It would have been one of the best things they've ever done, without question. And I would have been a full supporter of that. It'd have been hard to pick, who to root for because I like both guys so much, but you got to go with the Dead Man. You got to go with the Undertaker. So, all right. Thank you all for watching this week here on Talk Wrestling, live here on the Jeff Meacham Network across YouTube and Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, and Twitch. Thank you guys all for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to go to teespring.com/store/Jeff Meacham Network for all of your Jeff Meacham Network designs. You can find the Jeff Meacham logo t-shirt there, Wrestling Rewind, Meacham's Musings, Talk Wrestling, and of course, the now world infamous Meachamania shirts and tees and tanks, brother. Absolutely. So there you go. It's gonna be a hell of a time wearing those shirts out in public because I just love these. I love the red yellow Meachamania shirts so much. Also, the guy that does the shirts for us at Twilight Shift on Instagram. That's his new handle. I will be updating the commercial for that in the next couple days, probably by Monday's Meacham Musings. So be on the lookout for that. And I guess really that's all we've got for this week. So thank you all in the chat room. Thank you all, everybody watching at home, everybody watching on your laptop, on your phone, on your tablet, your office. If you're not working, you should be. Shame on you. And don't blame me if you get fired because it's not my fault. We'll see you guys Monday right here on the Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you guys so much again, and we'll see you next time.